You know, it's funny how when you're a kid, you hear songs and you sing them as a child, and you love the song and you know what the song's initially talking about, but as you grow older, the song adapts in your brain and you start to realize what the artist was originally intending with that song. For me, one of the songs I sang ever since I was a little kid was The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. I love the song, it's a beautiful song, and on first glance, it's just going to be a song about a gambler, about a guy sitting on a train with a gambler and just learning about, gambling. But years later, you really look at the song and you figure out that it's really kind of a metaphor for what we all go through in life. The fact that we meet people that come into our lives maybe only for an instant, but can change your life in profound ways. People that you may never meet, but still change your life in amazing ways. And that's really what this song is talking about. It's talking about how when you first meet somebody, you don't know that they're going to be somebody that means so much to you later on in your life. I think about when I first met Terry Brooks, the author of the Shannara series, which by the way is my favorite book series, and how much meeting him for the first time really affected my whole outlook on things, because he was such a genuine person. And he was just a normal, everyday, average guy that had come up with this incredible fantasy world that I grew up loving. And, they say never meet your idols. They'll never meet your expectations. But, man, let me tell you, it's been my situation where you should meet your idols. Because I've never met one of them yet that hasn't been amazing when I've had the chance to meet them. And so I definitely see where Kenny Rogers was talking about with this song. And how even though he only met the gambler for just a few minutes, he only met him for just a brief time, he later realized that that brief encounter with him changed his life forever. And so now I give you The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with the gambler. We were both too tired to speak, so we took turns of staring out the window in the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what their cards were by the way they hold their eyes. So if you don't mind me saying, I could see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. Well, the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you ought to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Now every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser, and the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep." And when he finished speaking, he turned back towards the window, brushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler he broke even, But in his final words I found the ace that I could keep. You've got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.